Hi there, it's Ruth from aRTful Stampin here. I wanted to show you how to make this really easy, quick and easy card today using the Butterfly Basics stamp set that's available in the Spring Summer 2015 catalogue from Stampin' Up. And I'm quite excited to show you this because I find it quite difficult sometimes to find simple, easy designs to do for men, and I just love that this stamp set has these kind of lots of different images that actually, if you choose very carefully, you're able to make a masculine card from. So I've got a couple samples here. One's on Very Vanilla and one's on Whisper White. And if you look quite carefully, you can see that here it's got some of the splatters from the gorgeous grunge set. But I'm going to actually make the card without using this. So this is a great way, if you're a demonstrator, to show any customers that you can make a fabulous card just with one stamp set and how versatile it is. So there you're going to notice a bit of a difference from the one I make. I think it's just going to end up just as beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to be using a masking technique that, oops, sorry, just trying to zoom out there, that's really simple. I just need to get my cutter for this. Now, again, you know, if your customers don't have a cutter, you know, good old-fashioned scissors and a ruler would be fine. So I'm just using a piece of scrap paper. It's just a piece of grid paper that I don't need anymore. And I'm going to cut a strip of paper that is 1 inch wide, okay? So this is a great simple technique to do, that once you've set up your grid paper, you can actually make lots and lots of cards with this technique. So then I get some Tombow glue and just put a little bit of glue on either side of my strip, and then I stick it down, and that's the fabulous thing about this grid paper, it's got lines on it. So all I do is line up the strip of paper with the existing thick line that runs through the middle of the grid paper. Now, of course, you don't have to have grid paper to do this. You can just use any old paper, but it does need to be wide enough for the cardstock that you're going to be stamping on. Okay, so here I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and the measurement for this is 3 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches, because I'm going to be mounting this onto a 5 3/4 by 4 inch card. So, right, let's get on with some stamping. So what I do is I place the piece of card underneath the strip that I have stuck down, and I like to have the blank area just above the middle of the card. So there's no kind of like hard and fast rules about this. That's just what I like doing. I mean, you might prefer to have it at the bottom, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do this near the top. So as you can see, I've lined it up with one of the grid lines, and that is what's so useful about this grid paper. It really does make lining things up so much easier. Okay, I could use perhaps a piece of washi tape to secure it, but the only thing about doing that is that all it does is create another mask, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to have to be really careful and just make sure I hold it in place when I'm doing my stamping, and that's not too hard to do. Okay, so I'm going to start off using Hello Honey, and using the honeycomb sort of image, and all I do here is just stamp in various places, oops, onto my card. Now, just a tip, when you're stamping over the masked area, just be aware of just perhaps giving a little bit of extra pressure so that the area around the masked area, it does get picked up, the ink does pick up from the stamp. Oops. Dear, I'm a bit fingers and thumbs today, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think I'll just put it one there. And you can't really go wrong with this. This is about creating a montage of images that, and because Stampin' Up just designed things so fantastically, it's kind of, you can't really make a mistake. Okay, so here I have some baked brown sugar, and we're just going to take the postmark little image here and pop that on in various places. Pop them there. And you know what, we can go back over that if needs be later. So here I've got Mossy Meadow. I'm going to use this beautiful fern image. I have to confess I'm a bit of a sucker for leaf and flower images, and this is one of the prettiest images I think I've seen in the stamping world. It's so delicate, really great for, you know, male or female orientated cards. And all I'm doing is stamping the leaf to kind of spray away from the mast area. And I'm just holding down the card to make sure it doesn't move out of place. Okay, I'm just thinking about where to put that image. I think I'm just going to do a little bit of an image there. Okay, I think that's it, to be honest. Right, now this is the time where I just go, oh, it's a sponge. I was going to say I think I haven't got a sponge, but I have. Just check that's clean. Right, so then once you've done your stamping, you take one of our sponges and just get a little bit of the baked brown sugar onto there. Make sure, just check that the card is aligned properly, and sponge in circular motions and start on the grid paper and then come onto the card that you're stamping on. The reason I suggest this is because sometimes when you initially start, if you've just daubed with ink, it can create, sometimes you create a little bit of a streak, and we don't really want that to happen on the card that we've just spent time stamping on. Oops, just knocked it. Put it back. See how simple it is just to put back if you do knock it. Okay, so just keep sponging. Nice circular motions, and don't be tempted to push too hard down. Build the colour up bit by bit. And then what I'm going to do is actually sponge in the area around the mast area to really highlight the mast off area, so it's a really good contrast. That also then makes the sentiment, when you stamp the sentiment, makes it really kind of eye-catching and pop out. Okay, so I think I'm ready now to do the big reveal. And again, if you're a demonstrator and you're wanting to show your customers how to do a quick and simple card, this has just got the wow factor. It's just fabulous. Okay, so here we go. Look at that. You've got this beautiful kind of clean area there to be stamping your sentiment. So let's pop the sentiment onto the block. And what's lovely about the Butterfly Basics stamp set is the Happy Birthday is, I think, you know, non-generic, generic, no, that's not what I wanted to say, kind of like specific. It can be male, female, you know, it's, you know how some fonts just kind of look girly. Well, I think this one is just lovely. It's not too girly. Okay, now I'm going to mount the kind of stripy design. Now my tip for this is actually to pop the stamp, the photopolymer stamp, on your grid paper and align it up first, and then place your block over it to pick it up, because it's a bit tricky to try and stick it on straight to the block. In a straight line, that is. If you want a curvy line, that's fine, but if you want a straight line, it's easier to just mount it like that. Okay, so nearly finished. I'm going to ink up the Happy Birthday. And I'm just going to place that around there. Marvellous. And then a little bit of the strip, because when I first did this, I just thought, oh, that looks just a little bit bare, so I thought this striped image is just perfect for filling it in a little bit. There we go. And then all that remains to do is to then stick that to a piece of, I've got Naturals Ivory cardstock, which I've just managed to get some ink on. Isn't that clever? Oh, and ink on there. Oh my goodness, I'm just transferring it everywhere. Okay, you do not want to do that when you make the card. I think I might have, yeah, I did. I touched it by accident just then. Anyway, I'm keeping it real. So I'm just going to keep going. Put some Tombow on there. Okay, and this style card, it would be very easy to make it more feminine colours if you used a paler green instead of the mossy meadow. Maybe used, I don't know, pink, or maybe like a nice yellow colour for the honeycomb. You know, you play with the colours, you know what your favourite colours are and what you'd like to create with. Anyway, so there we go. There's the final card. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit there. Yeah, I hope you find this really easy to make, and yeah, have fun with it. And of course, if you'd like to order anything, please go to aRTfulStampin.co.uk and click on shop, and you'll find where you can purchase any of the projects I've used today. Okay, thank you for joining me. Bye for now.